Do you remember this graph from the last podcast? Yeah. So now we're going to start learning all of the things, little nuances about your calculator here and how to do certain things. For example, the first one I want to look at is how do you figure out the vertex? Notice the vertex is not pretty. It's right about here. It's somewhere around here. We can guesstimate it, and it looks like it's about halfway through here, and it's just a little bit lower than, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be about 6 point something, and looks like that it's probably going to be 1/2. So that's just going to be gross, ain't it? Yeah, so what? Let's figure out what that actual vertex is. Remember, this is a calculator. It's specifically a graphing calculator. So it's going to help us to calculate things like vertexes. Cool. How do you do this? Well, if you look on your calculator right here, it actually has a calc function. It's right there. Dun, da, 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 calc. All right. So we're going to access this. How do you access that? Real simple. If you hit second and you hit the trace button, which brings you to the blue section, the calc, all kinds of options come up. Now, think about what we're trying to find. We're trying to find a vertex of a parabola that looks like this. So think about it. What is that vertex? In fact, that is a minimum value. Gee, I've got it sitting right there. So I can either mouse to that, or I can just hit the number 3, and let's figure out the minimum. Okay, let's hit 3. Yoink. Now, look what it says. Here's the formula that we originally had. That was from our previous podcast, okay? But notice how it says now you got a left bound. Well, what are you doing here? Well, if you think about it, we want this vertex. So if we want to be left bound, we want to be on the left-hand side of that vertex. Okay, well, looks like it's already on the left-hand side. So how do I anchor this? Real simple. Just hit enter. Boom. Notice a couple things that show up. One of the things that you don't really see on this is there's actually a dotted line going all the way through the y-axis. But you also see this little arrow indicating that that's your left bound. Notice what came up though. It now says, what's your right bound? So question, is this blinky here on the right side of your vertex? No, it's not. Let's get it to the right side of the vertex. How do you do that? Just mouse it over. Boom, boom, boom. Look, now I'm on the right side. Now, does it have to be in a specific spot? No, as long as it's on the right side, it's good to go. Hit enter. Now, here's the weirdest thing. I don't understand why it does this, but if you notice something before I get into my rant here, is there's our right bound, there's our right arrow, saying that your vertex is somewhere between this line here and this line here. Well, no kidding. That's where your vertex is. So that's why it's asking you right now, should I guess? Yeah, I think you should. Okay, so let's just hit, all you got to do is hit enter again. Boom. And there it is. Now, if you look at this particular thing, it gives you a really wonky kind of value. Whenever you get a wonky value like this, this is the graphing calculator using approximations. It's not perfect, but it's a pretty good calculator, okay? It says 4.99999999999, okay? Well, if it says 0.49999, all you got to do is realize that that's in fact 0.5. Just round it to 0.5, you're good to go. So what are your coordinates? Your coordinates of your vertex are 0.5, comma, and there's your y value, negative 6.25. Isn't that special? Yeah. Now, here's the neat thing. I'm going to show you in the next podcast how to get rid of those decimals and make them into fractions. Stay tuned.